In his late 40s, Haoyu, a software developer based in Shenzhen, was living a life focused on his work more than anything else. He spent his days in an office filled with screens, devices, and code filling his screen, and when he could catch his breath, he would look out at the big city that pulsed with life day and night. His routine was predictable, until one day his life changed. At an international conference for his company, Haoyu met Ms. Lan, a financial analyst from Hong Kong in her mid-40s. Lan had a calm demeanor and a confidence that came from years of experience in the business world. They met by chance during a discussion about software technology investment techniques, and the conversation between them turned from a professional conversation to something much warmer. There was an instant connection, something that went beyond the usual conference words. After the conference, the meeting was no longer just a passing memory. Haoyu and Lan began communicating regularly via social media apps. Their daily messages broke the grim routine of each other. Their conversations were continuous via instant messaging apps and video calls. They would talk for hours at night, their computer and phone screens lighting up their conversations. As night fell in Shenzhen, the distant lights of Hong Kong would reflect in Lan's eyes as she spoke to him from her upscale apartment overlooking Victoria Harbour. Over time, their relationship grew in unexpected ways. They would share thoughts and dreams, talk about their futures and ambitions, and with each conversation, their connection grew stronger. But despite these raging feelings, there was a solid wall standing between them. Lan was married. Lan had a cold marriage with her husband, who also worked in finance. Although they had been together for many years, their relationship had become limited to duties and routine. The more Lan talked about her personal life, the more her voice would be filled with sadness and disappointment. Haoyu, on the other hand, was increasingly convinced that she deserved more. One night, as Lan sat in her luxurious apartment, with the bright lights of Hong Kong behind her, Haoyu spoke to her frankly for the first time about his true feelings. "Lan, I can't go on like this," he said. "We're just living a virtual life, and every moment I talk to you makes me realize how much we need to be together in real life." Lan hesitated, torn between her simmering feelings for Haoyu and the obligations of her married life. She wasn't happy in her marriage, but she knew that getting out of it would be complicated. "Do you mean I should leave my life here?" Lan asked slowly, looking at Haoyu's face on the screen. "Yes. Join me in Shenzhen or let me be by your side in Hong Kong. We can't live our entire lives behind screens. You deserve a better life, one filled with love and freedom." As Lan pondered Haoyu's words, she suddenly heard the apartment door open. Her husband had returned from a long business trip. The man entered the room, and there was something strange about his calm. He sat across from her, staring at her for a long time. "I saw your messages with Haoyu," he said very quietly, his words echoing throughout the room. Lan froze, not expecting him to find out so quickly. She tried to speak, to justify, but the words didn't come. "I thought what was between us was just a coldness that could be repaired. But now I realize that things have changed a long time ago. If you want another life, I won't stand in your way." Her husband's words were shocking yet logical. There was an implicit admission that what had been between them had already ended a long time ago. Days passed after that. Lan thought deeply about her life and her choices. Was it worth leaving a stable but empty life? Or should she heed her heart's desire and venture into a new life with Haoyu? In the end, Lan decided to stay with her husband. It wasn't an easy decision, but she felt unable to leave everything behind. Although her relationship with Haoyu was strong and full of love, real life isn't always what we imagine it to be from behind the screens. Haoyu continued his life in Shenzhen, working day and night, but his heart always carried the memory of that unfinished relationship. That relationship, despite its virtual distance, was stronger than many real-life relationships, but it couldn't survive the challenges of reality. In the end, virtual love wasn't enough to defeat the constraints of real life.